New e-mobility alliance Charge Up Europe launched. Leading industry players in electric vehicle charging infrastructure sector have come together to form a new alliance to support the rollout of consumer-centric EV policies in Europe. Allego, ChargePoint and EV Box Group put together have more than 150,000 charging ports of their new networks across the EU, announced the launch of Charge Up Europe during the Evolution Digital Online event and called on other like-minded companies in the EV industry to join the cause. Charge Up Europe starts with 3 founding members and is already in the process of welcoming new members. The purpose of Charge Up Europe is to enable a swift and efficient rollout of EV charging infrastructure in Europe. The alliance will work on realizing EU policies that support investment in charging infrastructure, remove market barriers, and facilitate the smooth uptake of EVs and a seamless experience for EV drivers. Charge Up Europe has been formed at the time when the EU, through the Global Deal, aims to achieve climate neutrality by 2050, while at the same time demand for EVs is rising sharply. It is predicted to see 44 million electric vehicles on new European roads by 2030. In order to ensure that infrastructure development keeps pace with the growing uptake of EVs and enables the shift to electric transport, Charge Up Europe will work towards getting the right market conditions in place that incentives investment drivers to a consumer-centric, open market model for charging infrastructure in Europe. Charge Up Europe has scheduled its launch event for the summer in Brussels. Given current circumstances with regard to the coronavirus COVID-19, this is subject to change. Matthew Bonnet, CEO of Allego, said, "We are launching this alliance in uncertain times, and of course, people's the minds are focused on COVID-19, but as we all look to play our part in managing this crisis, we feel it's important that we also keep focused on tackling other great changes such as climate change. Charge Up Europe represents a unique opportunity for the sector to come together and speed up the development and rollout of charging infrastructure across Europe. We call on all other like-minded partners to join this initiative." Christopher Bogart, Managing Director for Europe, ChargePoint, commented, "Against the backdrop of a highly relevant policy agenda, we believe it is the right time for a dedicated voice to represent the charging infrastructure sector in Europe. We are committed to working with EU decision makers and stakeholders to identify the policies and investments needed to facilitate the scale and volume of electric vehicles expected to come onto the EU market. The move to electric vehicles is critical in reaching zero net emissions, and this alliance is dedicated to supporting EV infrastructure and positively impact EV adoption." Christophe Pereno, CEO, EV Box and Evelon, said, "This is the first time that the entire EV charging infrastructure speaks with one clear voice. We need to speak out in the internet of EV drivers everywhere. rather than letting others do the talking for us. Charging Up Europe will work to present a common view on what is needed to ensure that Europe creates an open market and the customer-centric model for EV charging in Europe. The key will be to develop, deploy, and operate high-quality charging infrastructure that serves the practical needs of EV drivers.